to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Alderperson Robinson.
Present.
Alderperson Tweet.
Here.
Alderperson Swanson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hurt.
Here.
Alderperson Parker.
Here.
Alderperson Poulos.
Here.
Alderperson Bill Healy.
Here.
Mayor Tomes.
Can we all stand for a pledge of allegiance, followed by a moment of silence? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, public comment? Thank you. Okay, it looks like we have quite a few people on the list here. I'm going to remind everybody to limit your comments to 5 minutes. Also, we would like to respect everybody's their desire to speak, but we'd also like to make sure that we're not using profanity and things like that are disruptive to the council meeting. But you are invited to speak, so I'm just kind of setting some ground rules here. So it looks like we have Kelly McKay. You can come right up there. And then go ahead and state your name just for the record.
Okay. Can you hit the on button? I'm sorry, for the podium.
Is that better? Okay. My name's Kelly McKay. I'm a wildlife biologist, and I've been doing bald eagle research in the Midwest and Northeast for the last 46 years. So I want to talk about the proposed development at Milam Bottoms. And one of the projects I've done over the years was a 6-year intensive night roost study that we did for the Corps of Engineers at Milam Bottoms several years ago. And it was during that study that we were able to document that on any given night, in some years, Milam Bottoms will host 600 to 800 eagles a night roosting in there. That makes Milam Bottoms by far and away the largest night roost that's ever been documented on the Mississippi River, and the largest night roost that's ever been documented in the lower 48 states. And it's right here in our own backyard, which is really a great thing, I think. I don't want to get deep into the weeds because I know I'm limited on time. I don't want to get deep into the weeds about night roosts and all that, but a couple of points I want to make. Eagles that winter here in the upper Midwest have a very hard time making it through the night. They fly a very fine line between having enough energy reserves to survive the winter nights and not having enough and perishing. One of the things that helps them survive are what we call communal night roosts. And these are areas where the birds congregate communally at night, and they sit through the night, usually motionless through the night, just resting and conserving energy, digesting the meals that they had that day. Basically, it's all about preserving calories and not burning and wasting calories. So in the floodplain areas, there's two different types of night roosts. I'm not going to get into that because I'll be here all night. In the floodplain, though, in order to function as a night roost, you have to have large blocks or large patches of floodplain forest wetland habitat. And you think about it, I mean, the broader the patch of forest, the more shelter and protection the birds get. I always say, think about it yourself. If you're walking along the river on a cold, windy day and there's just a narrow strip of trees between you and the river, you feel the full force of the wind, you feel the weather, it feels very cold. But if you're walking on the river on the backside of a big patch of forest, the forest gives you a lot of shelter and protection. It feels a lot warmer. You don't feel as cold. Same idea applies to night roosting eagles. That's a technique that they use for preserving and conserving energy and calories. So you have to have a big patch or a big block of forest habitat, not just any area can be used as a night roost. The other thing that distinguishes the night roosts are the fact that they tend to be secluded and remote from a lot of human activity and development. All eagle research shows that eagles are completely intolerant of a lot of human activity and development and disturbance that goes on through the night. A lot of times, if that disturbance continues, the birds will abandon the nest site. And that's a serious issue here in the Quad Cities because of the size of the Mylan Bottoms night roost. Basically, the entire eagle population that winters here in the Quad Cities utilizes Mylan Bottoms. So you have to have a secluded area, and that's why not every area will function, as you're not going to find night roosts in the middle of town because there's too much activity and development. So that brings me to, our concerns over the proposed marijuana dispensary and truck stop complex, and I call it a complex because I'm not really sure what it consists of, down there at the corner of I-280 and Highway 92. Now, we understand that the proposed development site is not in the floodplain or wetlands, but that's not the point. The point is it's immediately adjacent to it. It abuts right up against the high use area where 80% of all the eagles that night roost in Mylan Bottoms are right there at that location, and this abuts right up to that. And so our concerns, largely with the truck stop, not so much with the dispensary, but with the truck stop, and the fact that, truck stops operate 24/7. You got trucks coming and going.
You've got about 20 seconds left.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So
Sorry.
Trucks are coming and going all night long. You got the noise of the trucks, the air brakes, the horns, the bright lights. Eagles will not tolerate that. It'll cause them to abandon the night roost. And that's a serious issue because if they abandon the Mylan Bottoms night roost, that's going to greatly impact the entire eagle population wintering here in the Quad City area, and it's going to affect the survivability rates of eagles wintering here. So I just want to close by saying that I've seen some statements in the last couple days from the city where the city says they greatly appreciate the bald eagle population wintering here in the Quad Cities. My question is, do we appreciate it enough to actually protect?
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut you off. Here,
Okay.
We're over your time. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Okay, I'm not sure the pronunciation of the last name. It looks like John Dwee. I'm not sure, so excuse me.
I always know it's me because there's a big silence there.
So just go ahead and state your name for the record, please.
Good evening, council, city staff, and citizens. My name's John Duvajunk. I'm a resident of the 7th Ward and also chairperson for the local Sierra Club Eagle View group. And I don't know if you have all seen the letter that I sent to the mayor last Friday, but I'm going to read it into the record right now. So this letter was signed by me as for the Sierra Club, but there's also approximately 25 to 30 other entities that support this letter, including Quad City Conservation Alliance and Living Lands and Waters, although some of their names are not on here. Dear Mayor Tomes, the Sierra Club Eagle View Group and other local entities were recently made aware of a proposed development on a land parcel currently owned by the City of Rock Island near the Bailey's Casino on the Centennial Expressway. We understand that the proposed development consists of a cannabis dispensary, strip mall, and truck stop. The proposed development is adjacent to environmentally sensitive wetlands and bottomland hardwood forest habitats known as Mylan Bottoms. Although we have not seen any specific plans yet, we are concerned with potential impacts to nearby fish and wildlife resources. We would like to meet with the city property developer to discuss issues and opportunities associated with the proposed development. The Mylan Bottoms ecosystem is approximately 35 acres of bottomland hardwoods and wetlands. The parcel is adjacent to the largest documented wintering bald eagle night roost along the upper Mississippi River. It is also habitat for several Illinois state-listed endangered species and possibly some federally listed species as well. We are particularly concerned with the potential impacts of light pollution and noise on the wintering night roost. Although no longer a federally endangered species, eagles are protected by the Bald and Gold Eagle Protection Act. The act prohibits the take of eagles, which means one cannot pursue, shoot at, or poison, wound, kill, capture, trap, collect, molest, or disturb. A robust eagle population is important to the Quad City economy. Bald Eagle Days at the Quad City Conservation Alliance was attended by approximately 18,000 people this year. Many of the eagles observed during this event overnight in the Milan Bottoms, where they are free from disturbance. As Mr. McKay mentioned, even a moderate amount of disturbance can cause eagles to abandon their night roost. You're probably aware that any encroachment into the adjacent wetlands, which means fill, probably require a Clean Water Act permit from the Army Corps of Engineers. Surface runoff from the truck stop is also concerning. What measures will be taken to minimize the runoff of salt and other contaminants? We have also noted that the service project road leading to the site has been inundated during past flood events. Does the project require the service road's elevation to be raised? This location also provides one of the only easily accessible points to Milan Bottoms for recreation. The development should preserve public access and consider opportunities for low-impact recreation such as trails, boardwalks, viewing platforms, canoe kayak access. The City of Rock Island Parks and Recreation Department should be encouraged to explore opportunities for low-impact recreational use of the area. The Sierra Club and other signatories look forward to an informal discussion with city planners and prospective developer to discuss these issues and opportunities. We are not necessarily anti-development, but we wish to see a plan that considers all costs, environmental and economic, and opportunities for that site as well. Respectfully, John Duvajunk, Chairman, Sierra Club, Eagle View Group. So that's it. We want to try to get to a win-win situation with the city. We are anxious to meet with you and a developer to discuss our concerns and what you have to offer. And as a citizen, I understand the need for tax dollars. You know, I live in the city. I know we need that kind of development. But there is a point where trying to get that money should also be considered in addition to the environmental costs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It looks like it's Juan Jackson. No? Okay. I don't have a last name. It looks like Destiny. And remember to please state your name for the record.
Hi, Destiny Jackson.
Juan Jackson.
Okay, what questions do you have? What is the question do you have?
I guess.
Okay,
No,
so
that's
I'm
not
going
a
to have
question.
one speaker at a time.
Go sit down. I have a question for you. Why haven't you spoke up for the black community? Okay, that's my question for you.
Yeah, I'll just briefly state for the record, when we do public comment, council members aren't really permitted to engage in back and forth.
Okay.
But if you do bring something that they
Okay.
want to comment on later, during the, at the end of the meeting, they can make comments at that time.
Okay. You, aren't you the chief? So you justified Brett Taylor killing Jakarta Jackson?
Okay, just to remind you that no one here is going to respond back to that.
I
We're
know,
here-
I'm
it's-
just asking
I
the
know,
question.
I'm just
Okay, thank you.
outlining the rules. I mean, if you're expecting an answer, you're probably not going to get it. That's all.
You the mayor right there? Oh, okay, where's the mayor at? He's not here?
The mayor is out of town today. I'm the mayor
Why haven't
pro-
you spoke up about the Jakarta Jackson situation? That's all I got to ask.
Okay, looks like Wastasia Jackson.
My name is Osage Jackson. I live in Rock Island, Illinois. I just want to come up here and speak on the negligence of an investigation into the killing of Jakarta Jackson. It was only like, 2 or 3 weeks? And then there was a lack of transparency from the state's attorney, the Rock Island PD, and the task force that was investigating them. The black community is afraid for their everyday life because there is someone on the street who clearly lacks the awareness of other people's safety. So I wanted to speak on that. And I just want to say the police are supposed to serve and protect, not neglect human rights and safety. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Orlando Jackson? Like pass? Okay. Is it Tiara? I'm not sure. I'm having a hard time reading this next one. Go ahead and state your name for the record, please.
Tiara Cave. I'm just sitting here to say my brother was killed by Brett Taylor, and I just don't understand why hasn't anybody done anything about it, or what the state's attorney has done, or what she has said. I don't feel like it's true, and I feel like there's something and some justice needs to be served because it's wrong in my eyes, in my family's eyes. So I just want justice to be served. And I feel like as you guys sitting here today, I feel like you guys should help make that happen because what he did was wrong, and our family is hurting, we're suffering, and he could have did other precautions. Instead of killing him, he could have did anything else, a taser, mace, he could have beat him with a baton, his weapon that he used, he could have did that instead of killing him. He didn't have a weapon, he didn't have anything. So there was no justifying that. He had kids in the car. He had his 3-year-old daughter in the car. He had his 6-year-old nephew in the car. So I don't feel like justice is served. And I want it to be served, and I want it to be served immediately. So that's all I have to say for the record. On our behalf, our family's behalf, please look at this firmly and let us know how you guys feel, because this is not justice. And we will keep standing every day until we get justice. We'll be at that police department every day in Rock Island until we get justice for what Brett Taylor did to our brother. Thank you.
It looks like Priest Jackson.
Hello, I'm LaPriest Jackson. So first I want to say Mayor Toms was voted mayor for the community, and he continued to allow this to go on. You just wanted us to stand and do Pledge of Allegiance, and it states justice for all. My question is the mayor really for the community? Are any of you guys really for the community? This has happened over multiple times where these police officers are killing and showing they don't have the proper training. Why haven't anybody said anything about Brett Taylor killing Jakarta because he was walking away from him? Why continue letting them cover up the truth? This is unacceptable to us, Jakarta's family, and the community. Your justice system let a trigger-happy police officer who doesn't have the proper training and right mental back on the streets. That's the fact that everyone sitting around here haven't said anything shows every one of you guys agree with your police officers who are supposed to protect and serve, killing an unarmed, non-aggressive man, and that is not acceptable. The cover-up and the disrespect we have received is unacceptable. You are supposed to be the spokesperson for the community, and nobody spoke up for any justified shootings by your police officers that was justified. How can the community trust you guys or the police now?
I'm not sure of this. I think it's Teray McDowell. I'm not sure if I said that correctly.
Thank you guys for having an open mic. My name is Terray. I'm coming to speak on behalf of the community. We witnessed the videotape that was released. We first saw the edited footage, and then you guys released more. My question is, if a trained officer gets out and sees someone running away, he doesn't say, stop, freeze, you're under arrest. He says, I'm gonna shoot you in the, right? He says this repeatedly because he's running away. The officers have said that he had a warrant, but remind me, is this the Old West? Are we back where a warrant means you're dead or alive to bring you in? Because I promise you, whatever that little warrant supposedly was, I guarantee it didn't carry a death sentence. Can somebody answer that for me? I watched on the news on Saturday, another individual led the police on a 100-mile-an-hour chase. He was brought in alive. But somehow when it's our children in our communities, they end up dead because they ran. But you will hear the officers who are trained, right? Trained. I know you won't say anything, but they're trained. He showed up with a gun. He showed up with mace. He showed up with a baton. He showed up with handcuffs. He showed up with a radio. He had all these things. Jakarta didn't have any of that. So when I listened to the state's attorney's report that she released, and the first thing comes out is that he was coming in the opposite direction and he turned left. Okay, is that illegal? Your first statement, some of the earlier statements had said that he made multiple traffic infractions. Well, why didn't you stop him from that? Because we can see by the stuff that was released that the lights didn't come on until after he stopped. And when he stopped behind that car, Jakarta was almost to the house. These are the things that you guys are writing the narrative to paint this young man, this father, like he was some sort of villain and justified in shooting him down like a dog. But if we shot him like a dog, you guys would be up here protesting for the dog. But now our city council, our aldermen, you guys are silent. The state's attorney who's supposed to represent the people is silent. The task force is a sham. Detectives made from other agencies, so the police investigating the police. Any wonder he got cleared? The family's just been asking for full transparency. Release everything, not just the things that you want the public to see. Stop trying to paint this guy like he was a bad man. This isn't the guy that's been out here shooting up the neighborhood. You guys didn't say he's got a bunch of felony arrested for assault and battery, robbery. You guys ain't accusing him of that. And each time you kill one of us, that's the first thing you bring up. Well, you know, when he was in second grade, he got caught shoplifting. Y'all bring up some little nefarious thing to paint these men as though there's something wrong and they're just young men. Most of you wouldn't be here now if there wasn't somebody looking out for you when you were younger and the mistakes that you made. But somehow your standards have changed. Somehow y'all ain't looking at that. Somehow, I don't know if it's the color of our skin or what, y'all not seeing us as people. Y'all not seeing us as fathers, as sons, as brothers. Y'all not responding in the same way. I shouldn't be the only one up here indignant about this. That man got out of his car and the first thing he said out his mouth is, I'll shoot. Come on now. But y'all telling me that was justified. He was going to shoot him over what? Over what? A warrant for some traffic infraction?
Okay, I'm going to have to cut you off.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but hey, I just need you guys to understand this has to stop. Y'all have to stop writing these bogus narratives, slandering and maligning people after you wrongfully exterminate their life by trained officers. I'm not trained. If I did that, you guys would hold me accountable. But somehow people that are trained are the ones that get away with it.
Is it Shaya Jackson? I'm not sure if that's correct or not. She left? Okay. Okay, that looks like the end of public comment. Is there anybody else out there who wishes to speak?
Can I make a comment real quick? Oh.
My name is Yanessa Martin. I'm the mother of Jakarta Jackson's daughter. I just want everybody to realize that this is a father, a brother, an uncle, a cousin, a son, much more than just a black person with a warrant. My daughter, every day, she says she wants her dad. She seen what happened to her father. She has to live with that for her whole life. You guys don't realize that. She cries, I want my dad, I want my dad, almost every day. She looks in the sky and she says, there's my dad. I just want you guys to realize that my child, I have to live with this. My 3-year-old daughter, she has to live the rest of her life without her dad. And I feel like it's very unfair. So that's all I have to say.
Is there any more public comment? Anybody that hasn't signed up? Okay, you can come on up, please. Just state your
I was
name.
a little bit late. I'm sorry. Tony Bear. How are you guys? Hello, Chief. Nice to see you in person. I'm not from here. I don't know a lot of you. I've been living in Rock Island for about 4 years now. Purchased a house over here. Pretty much quiet about a lot of things until some shenanigans happened with racist stuff like it has over the last 4 years since I've had a business out of East Moline. I've had the business administrator, Bob Vitas, look at me and point at a shirt I had that said Sandy Still Speaks, Sandra Bland. He looked at me and said, is that colored girl that got killed? I had someone say I was gonna be shucking and jiving on live, just little stuff like that. This happened in my neighborhood. This happened at my front door, basically. And I knew immediately when the first story came out that it didn't sound right. So I'm not sure about the narratives that people are trying to spin to this family over and over again, like we forget what you say, or like, we're gonna tell you he was dragged, but we want you to believe he was dragged even though he landed on his back, which means if he was dragged, he would have had to have his head dragged, right? The way that you guys are saying it, he never would have fell on his back. Or, I don't know, Jakarta had a warrant, but you never show where he pulled over and actually ran his warrant. There's all kinds of stuff that you guys try to make this family believe that the reason why Jakarta was killed was because of something he did, instead of the fact that you guys don't say you have other things to kind to diffuse that situation. As Mr. McDowell said, he immediately said, I'm gonna shoot you, BITCH, as soon as he got out of the car. Now, I don't know about you, but social media is a strong type of presence in our life. So we see the things like Sandra Massey, we see the things like Robert Brooks, and then you have these young kids who are supposed to be okay with a grown man coming behind them saying, I'm gonna shoot you, BITCH, and we're supposed to just sit and comply. But we see things all the time happening to people who comply in their own home, people who comply with their hands behind their back, and we're supposed to be okay with it. And then we have a city official, state's attorneys, all these other agencies that come in and try to make us believe that we don't see what we see. And we're supposed to just accept that and think that you guys are for the community and that you're for us. Well, I'm gonna tell you again, like I said before, this family's not from here, I'm not from here. And so until we get some type of justice, either until the state's attorney resigns or until Officer Brett Taylor no longer works for Rock Island Police Department, we're not gonna stop, okay? And I'm gonna continue until we bring outside people from Detroit and Chicago in. I caught your little thing you did there. I appreciate you.
Was there someone else that wishes to, no, you're good?
I hadn't planned to speak today about this.
Could you please state your name, though, for the record?
Karen Unsicker. About this or anything else. Actually, I'm here to support the Mile and Bottoms folks because they make a real good point, and I'm just here to support them. But Jakarta Jackson was a client of mine when he was in high school, and he was a very intelligent, well-mannered, nice kid. And I hadn't seen him for a few years until this. I heard about this, and I just wish, since George Floyd was murdered almost 5 years ago, and decades before that, but especially since then, there have been so many more people of color, specifically black people, killed by police. And it's not because black people are worse than white people. Black people just get killed more by police. I would have liked to have seen, I thought this when I first read the article about Jakarta, because I remembered him as being such a nice kid. Why can't there be more police training in regards to black people? And why didn't this officer, I'm sure he's a good person, but in this situation, it sounds to me, he looked it up. The kid had a misdemeanor or something for not showing up in court. And why couldn't he then have made the decision to call in some help? I can see how he wouldn't want to just let the kid get away because he's evading him. But why in the hell did he have to go and break that car window with his baton? Why? Why couldn't he just call in some help and he gets another squad car or two and they surround the guy and then, come on, get out of your car. But, truly, as a black person in this country, not feeling safe enough to just, surrender to a cop, I get that. I mean, I'm not black, but God, I'd be afraid to death if I was a black male in our society and had a white police officer pull me over for anything, and it was just me and him, or me and them.
You live that every day.
It's, yes, you do. And I don't know what to say other than I'm embarrassed a little bit because my main group here, we're here for the Milan Bottoms. We're not here for this, and I just feel terrible. I think that police officers should get more training in how to deal with people of color. And they shouldn't be just cowboys out there trying to chase down this kid and break his window out. Why do you do that? And then open the door and get dragged. Of course, once he's being dragged, he has to do something, but he put himself in that position. And I know I'm taking more time than I even had ever intended, so thank you. That's all I have to say.
So I just wanted to kind of respond to Ms. Destiny. So I want to be sure that I say this the correct way. I feel for everything that's going on with you and your family. Nothing I say is going to bring Jakarta back. It's not going to stop the pain that you're feeling. The question you asked me is why don't I speak up for the black community? And I understand you don't know me, so that's probably why you asked that question. I sit in this seat as representing for not only the black community, but for my ward, which is First Ward. There's a lot of things I do for the community that I understand you're not from here, so you don't know. With a lot of things, we can't say anything because this case is now in the hands of lawyers. So I can't say anything, we can't say anything in respect to this case. It's at that point now. So anything you hear from anything else, it's only going to be transcribed through courts. We can't say anything from here on. I gave you my card. Please call me. And that's not just some political thing for me to give you my card. I want you to know what I do. And this is not the area or the time to kind of give that information. There's different things that we have done to try to prevent these type of actions, but we don't get a lot of support. And I'm just speaking now to the people who are here. We've put things in place to try to prevent things like this. But if we don't get support, and I talked to my man back here before the meeting, we don't see people in this council chamber to keep those things effective. That's my answer to you all. Don't just use this. Keep coming back and ask questions and find out what's going on in the city that you live in. Don't wait till something traumatic happens and then come and ask questions. We have to know everything that's going on from the beginning to the end, because there's a lot of things, and if you stay, you will hear a lot of stuff that's going to be taken care of tonight. But most people don't hear about it because it doesn't bother, it's not in their main function. As I sat here for 4 years, there's a lot of things I had no idea was going on in our city. But I opened my eyes to a lot of things. This seat opened my eyes. There's a lot of confrontations that I can't have because of the seat I sit in right now. So I appreciate you guys coming, and I hope you keep coming until you get what you feel is due. That's your right as a citizen, as anyone. Come and speak. That's why we have this part of our meetings where you can have public comment. You gotta speak what you feel. That's it.
Okay, item number 7.
6A, proclamation declaring February 2025 as Black History Month in the city of Rock Island. Whereas Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans and a time for recognizing their central role in the history of the United States. Whereas the observance of Black History Month calls upon all citizens to reflect on the invaluable contributions of African Americans in shaping our nation's culture, economy, science, politics, arts, and social progress. And whereas throughout history, African Americans have played vital roles in the growth and development of Rock Island through leadership, services, innovation, and resilience in the face of adversity. And whereas the city of Rock Island remains committed to fostering an inclusive and diverse community where the legacies and achievements of African Americans are honored and where justice, equality, and opportunity for all are upheld. Whereas in recognition of Black History Month, we encourage residents to educate themselves on the profound impact of African Americans in our community and nation, and to participate in events, programs, and activities that celebrate Black history and culture.
Now, therefore, I, Randy Hurt, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Rock Island, proclaim February 2025 as Black History Month in the City of Rock Island. And Bonnie, would you like to come up?
Well, good afternoon, good evening. Good evening. Glad to see all of you out here. I am president of the Rock Island County NAACP. I need to see you at my meetings. Where are you? Okay. All right. You know, I don't play. So, I hear what you're saying. This is Black History Month, but we are going to say that Black history is American history. Okay? So do you know your history? All right. And I want you to know that the NAACP, don't put your head down, look at me. continue to be problems if we don't speak out and do the right thing. You have to be better than the next person. You can't do things like such and such person does and get away with it. You are different. So you have to realize that. But I'm also going to say that I am in partnership with law enforcement. And that's one of the things that we are talking about now, training. And we are going to put some training in place. Right, Chief? So all of this foolishness won't get you anywhere. So let's think before we speak. Let's think before we do. Because it's always a solution to a problem. We know what the problems are. So let's get together and work out those problems. Let's find solutions for these problems. Put your head up. Look at me. Okay? So, I heard you say you're not from here. Okay. So you're from?
Jacksonville, Illinois.
Jacksonville, Illinois. And I know the president of the NACP there. So, if you have issues, talk about it, let me know about it. But what you have done thus far, you were here last month when I spoke. No, you weren't here, but some of the people were here. And I gave out cards. And I said, call me. Have I gotten a call? No, I haven't gotten a call.
We talked to the NWC in Springfield.
Yeah, we talked to the one in Springfield. But Springfield won't help.
I know
I'm
they
not in
said,
Springfield.
yeah, they said they was gonna get a hold of somebody down there.
Okay, so Springfield, all right. Let Springfield take care of it then. But I am Rock Island County. So if you talk to me,
Oh, yeah, we need to do that.
we will try to make things better than what they are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So stop acting crazy and call me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's acting crazy? By them protesting? Or
No, no, protest is good.
Okay. When you say acting crazy, what do you mean by
Well,
that?
I just know what my friend is doing. Clown, so complete clown. Okay, all right. And again, City Council, thank you so much. Where's the mayor? Okay.
He's not here.
It's okay. I'll accept it from you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? All right. Thank you.
Okay, item number 7, update Rock Island. Celebrate 250 years of the U.S. Army. The Downtown Library Branch at 401 19th Street will host the next Rock Island Arsenal Lecture Series, celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. The lecture is this Wednesday, February 12th at 2 p.m. It's free and open to the public. The topic will be 1784 to 1860, a new nation and a new army. Free tax assistance. Do you need help filing your taxes? The Martin Luther King Community Center is offering free tax filing services from now through April 5th. No appointment is necessary. Tax professionals will be available every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon. The MLK Center is located at 630 9th Street in Rock Island. Item number 8.
Ordinances, first readings A through F, and if council so wishes, I can read them all.
Motion to approve the sale, authorize the city manager to execute the sale agreements, and consider, suspend the rules, and pass ordinance A through F.
First and Can I get a motion, please? Oh, we already said, okay. Any discussion? Okay, need a vote, please?
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Tweet. Swanson. Parker. And Pulis.
Aye. Item number 9.
G, report from the Community Development Department regarding a rezoning request from the City of Rock Island to consider a rezoning from C1 Park Conservation District to R1 one-unit residential district for Realtors Park, first reading.
Motion to approve the rezoning request and consider the ordinance.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
City Manager, can we have somebody come up, or someone from the staff talk about this, so people don't think we're selling off our beautiful parks when they hear the name Realtor Park?
Certainly. We have several items on here related to Realtor Park, and I'll just ask John Grip, Park Director, if he could provide a little bit of background.
Sure. Realtor Park is a little history of the park. It was donated to the Parks Department several decades ago. It was owned by a realtor, and they weren't able to sell the property, so hence Realtor Park is the name. It's a low-use park in our inventory. Per capita, Rock Island has many more parks than our population per capita on the national average. The challenge with this parcel is accessibility for EMS vehicles. You actually have to go down an alley to get to the park. There's no curbside property for access. It is a lower use park, and I am pleased that the neighborhood has formed the LLC to take the park on, as it'll still remain a community space. I'm not in favor of selling off our parks. I am in favor of doing partnerships like we've done with Augustana College, like we've done with our friends groups to enhance properties, to get amenities that we otherwise could not afford within our budget. If you'd like any more information on them, I'm happy to ask.
Oh, no, that's fine. It's a small piece of land and nobody would know it was there unless
That's
your
right.
home abutted it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a vote, please?
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. Aye. Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 8H.
Report from the Community Development Department regarding a right-of-way vacation request between 35th Street and Realtors Park, first reading.
Motion to approve the vacation request and consider the ordinance.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, there being none, can I get a vote, please?
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. Aye. Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 8I.
Report from the Community Development Department regarding the sale of Realtors Park for $100 plus closing costs, first reading.
Motion to approve the sale, authorize the city manager to execute the sales agreement and consider suspend the rules and pass the ordinance.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I actually would like to say it was great working with all of the people up in the area. I hope this goes the right way, but they are the right people for this property. So, as John said, it's a very, very little used park, and to see it in the right hands, I know they talked about even turning it into a butterfly sanctuary. So, some cool things that can be done with the property in the right hands. So, thank you.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. Aye. Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 9A.
Report from the Human Resources Department regarding a resolution for the retirement healthcare funding plan for fire department employees.
Motion to adopt a resolution and authorize city manager to execute the documents.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion? There being none, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. Aye. Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 9B.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding the motor fuel tax resolution appropriating $349,850 of motor fuel tax funds for street maintenance in 2025.
Motion to adopt the motor fuel tax resolution.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? There being none, I need a vote, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Aye.
Tweet. Swanson. Parker. And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 10.
Consent agenda items A through J.
Move to approve consent agenda items A through J.
Second.
Have a first and a second. Any discussion? There being none, can I get a vote, please?
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 11.
A, report from the Public Works Department regarding a payment in the amount of $98,353.32 to Brandt Construction, Milan, Illinois, for an emergency sewer main repair at Allman High School. You want me to read both?
Yes, please.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding payment in the amount of $54,034 to Surdeck, St. Louis, Missouri, for ortho and LiDAR GIS aerial photography.
Move to allow claims items A through B, or A and B.
Second.
Have a first and a second. Any discussion? There being none, I need a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 11C.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding a payment in the amount of $28,493.43 to Layman Construction of Rock Island, Illinois, for an emergency water main repair at 443 46th Avenue.
Motion to allow the claim.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion?
Due to the nature of my employment, I need to recuse myself from this vote.
Need a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 12A through C.
A, report from the Finance Department regarding a budget carryover from CY 2024 in the American Rescue Plan Act Fund 248 in the amount of $75,802.63 and Park and Recreation Fund 555 in the amount of $1,140,186.57. B, report from the Finance Department regarding a budget carryover for CY 2024 in the MLK Activity Fund 901 in the amount of $91,194.75. C, report from the Finance Department regarding a budget carryover for CY 2024 in the Public Library Fund 251 in the amount of $40,640.13.
Motion to approve the budget carryover items A through C is recommended.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion, please? There being none, I need a roll call vote.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 13.
A, report from the Mayor's Office regarding appointments and reappointments to the Community Development Commission and the Commercial Industrial Revolving Loan Fund, or CURLIF.
Move to approve the appointments and reappointments as recommended.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion?
I will recuse myself since I'm one of the appointees.
Okay, need a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 14.
A, report from the City Clerk's Office regarding a sound amplification request from Kavanaugh's Hilltop Tavern for their 13th annual Shamrockin' Patio Party event on Saturday, March 15th, 2025 from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. and a request for the outdoor consumption of alcohol in the fenced-in area of the adjacent parking lot.
Move to approve the request subject to complying with all liquor license regulations, contacting the fire department for fire and safety considerations, and subject to being closed down early if complaints are received.
Second.
First and a second. Any discussion? Okay, being none, need a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Aye.
Tweet.
Aye.
Swanson. Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 15.
A, Rock Island Port Authority.
Motion to close the regular city council meeting and convene the Rock Island Regional Port District meeting.
Second.
I need a okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, we are closing this. Any report?
Just to add on to what was discussed in the study session, again, that RFP for the Port Master Plan is currently out. If you know any port planning consultancies that should be contacted as part of the process, please let staff know. Otherwise, it'll be out for a little over 3 weeks. We'll be directly soliciting some such consultants that the state has alerted us to who have worked on similar plans. We remain hopeful that we will get some good responses, and we will fill you in when we have reviewed those. That's it.
And then I wanted to follow up. First, I want to thank Alter Logistics for being here. They're notoriously a very private company, so the fact that we even got this much to share was pretty impressive. Over the next several weeks, we'll be bringing before you a memorandum of understanding. The city will be the grant applicant for this particular grant. So we have no contributions, and nothing is being asked of us at this point. So thank you.
Okay, I need a motion to exit the Rock Island Regional Port Authority and reconvene the regular city council meeting.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 15B, any other business? Oh, what are we on? Oh, I'm sorry, 16. Sorry. Item 16, any other business to discuss? Okay, we'll move to item 17. I need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, we are adjourned until the next council meeting.
We are adjourned.